नमः सर्वेभ्यः कक्ष्यायां स्वागतम्। प्रार्थनया प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। हरिः ओं तत्सत्। अस्माभिः अ, अन्वयक्रमः इत्यस्मिन् उपक्रमे तत्र प्रथमश्लोकस्य पठनं अध्या अभ्यासः तत्सर्वं कृतम्। अर्थात् अन्वयक्रमः कथम् एतत् सर्वं तस्याः पुरन्यासपवित्रपांसुमपांसुलानां धुरि कीर्तनीया मार्गं मनुष्येश्वर धर्मपत्नी श्रुतेरिव अर्थं स्मृतिरन्वगच्छत्। अर्थात अपांसुलानां धुरि कीर्तनीया, या महिला अन्य पतिव्रतासु अग्रजा अस्ति, तत्र कीर्तनीया अस्ति, श्लाघनीया अस्ति, तादृशी मनुष्येश्वर धर्मपत्नी, अर्थात महाराज्ञी इति। खुर न्यास पवित्र पांसुम मार्गम, अर्थात गोः खुर न्यासेन पवित्रीकृत पांसुः यस्मिन् तत् मार्गम, तस्याः मार्गम, गोः मार्गम स्मृतिः श्रुतेः अर्थम इव अन्वगच्छत्। यथा स्मृतिग्रन्थाः वेदेषु श्रुतिषु उक्तमेव अर्थं पाठयन्ति, तद्वत् राज्ञी अपि तत्र गोः पुण्यं मार्गम् अनुसृतवती इति कथयति कालिदासः। तदनन्तरं सः एव अग्रे साक्षात् क्रमशः अग्रेति न स्वीकृतमस्ति रघुवंशात्, तत् पठामः। अर्थात किंचित अग्रे ततः तदनन्तरं दिलीपः, राजा दिलीपः सुदक्षिणां, महाराज्ञीं सुदक्षिणाम् आश्रमं संप्रेष्य, अर्थात तस्याः पूजा क्रमः तत्सर्वम् अभवत्, भवती अत्र एव तिष्ठतु इति आश्रमं पुनः संप्रेषयति। अनुचारानपि प्रेषितवान्, न केवलं ताम् अपि च अन्ये अनुचराः ये सन्ति एतयोः सेवां कर्तुं, तान् अपि प्रेषितवान् एव। सः एकाकी एव अभवत्। किम् अकरोत् एकाकी एव? एकाकी न, तत्र नन्दिनी अस्ति, परन्तु पश्यामः। ततः आस्वादवद्भिः कवलैः तृणानां कण्डूयनैः दशनिवारणैश्च अव्याहतैः स्वैरगतैः स तस्याः साम्राट् समाराधनतत्परो अभूत्। लैः लैः इति बहु भवति, अत्र तृतीया बहुवचन रूपाणां प्रयोगः बहु श्रूयते, तत्कारणात् ऐः ऐः इति अस्ति अत्र। पुनः एकवारम्, इदानीं सन्धिविच्छेदनं न करणीयम्, यदि पठनीयं तथैव करोमि, यथा करणीयमस्ति, यथा कविना लिखितमस्ति तथैव पठनीयम् अस्माभिः। तदनन्तरं यदा अर्थयितुं किञ्चित् प्रयासं कुर्मः तदा सन्धिविच्छेदनं तत्सर्वं करणीयं भवति। आस्वादवद्भिः कवलैस्तृणानां कण्डूयनैर्दर्शननिवारणैश्च अव्याहतैः स्वैरगतैः स तस्याः साम्राट् समाराधनतत्परोऽभूत् इति पाठः। तो आस्वादवद्भिः कवलैः तृणानां, तो अत्र कवलैः तृणानाम् इत्यत्र विसर्गस्य सकारः, सकारः श्चुत्वं न भवति, सकारः एव तिष्ठति। स्तोः एव अस्ति, तत्र श्चु पदं नास्ति इति, तत्र सकारः सकारः एव। कवलैस्तृणानाम् इति, तत्र तु सर्वदा अनुस्वारस्य पुनः हलन्तमकारस्थापनं पदविभागे भवति एव, भवन्तः जानन्ति तत्। कण्डूयनैः, अत्र विसर्गस्य रेपः, यद्यपि अत्र स्पष्टं नास्ति, उपरि रेपः अस्ति तत्र। कण्डूयनैः दंशनिवारणैः, तो दम् इति यदस्ति तत्र बिन्दुः अपि अस्ति, रेपस्य जठरे तत्र बिन्दुः अपि अस्ति दंशनिवारणैः च अत्र सकारः श्चुत्वं च व्रणैश्च इति षकारः श्रूयते तत्र चकारः अस्ति चकारः श्चु अक्षरं तत्कारणात् एव अर्थात् तत्र दंशनिवारणैः च इति पृथक् करणीयम् प्रप्रथमं सकारः तदनन्तरं सकारस्य शकारेण परिवर्तनम् अभवत् तत्र सन्धिद्वयम् इति वक्तुं सन्धिद्वयम् इत्यत्र विसर्गसन्धेः अपररूप तत्र नैष् इति अस्तु अव्याहतैः तत्र किमपि परिवर्तनं नास्ति स्वैरगतैः सः स इत्यत्र लोपः विसर्गस्य लोपः स एष इत्येतयोः विसर्गलोपः सर्वदा दृष्टमेव अस्माभिः तस्याः तथैव साम्राट् 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 साम्राड् इति कदाचित् जष्ट्वं भवति परन्तु तत्र सकारः अस्ति तत्कारणात् तत्र मृदुत्वं नास्ति इति साम्राट् इत्येव चर्त्वं स्वीकृत्य तिष्ठते तदनन्तरं समाराधनतत्परः तत्परो इति उत्वम् अत्र विसर्गस्य उत्वम् अकारः अस्ति किल ह्रस्व अकारः तत्कारणात् उत्वम् अभवत् तत्परो अत्र पुनः अग्रे गत्वा अकारस्यापि प्रकृतिभावेन लोपः एवं तो अभूत् इत्यस्य पुनः स्थापनीयम् अत्र अस्तु तो सः साम्राट् सः राजा दिलीपः इति आस्वादवद्भिः तृणानां कवलैः इति one phrase you can say आस्वादवद्भिः तृणानां कवलैः तृणानाम् इत्यत्र षष्टि आस्वादवद्भिः कवलैः इत्यत्र तृतीया विभक्तेः बहुवचनरूपं करणकारकं so instrumental case 3 so these two are paired but what kavala trinanam kavalaihi kavala shabda essentially means one morsel or mouthful of grass okay so of course grass because of trinanam kavalaihi kavala can be rice ball also which is one eatable quantity okay so you know this word it's familiar to all Indians because when we do bhikshatana also we should say kavala amma kavala like that I mean give me a morsel of food this how its word is used even in Karnataka so aswadavadbhihi trinanam kavalaihi not any ordinary grass morsel very tasty worthy of taste okay okay kanduyanaihi okay kanduyanam means some kind of scratch itching act okay kanduyanam means it's when we have our pet animals they much desire this softly if you brush them or put your hand where they cannot themselves reach and you remove the irritation from their skin so that act is called kanduyanam so आस्वादवद्भिः तृणानां कवलैः one instrumental case kanduyanaihi another entity which is by scratching so by feeding we can kind of imagine by feeding tasty pieces of grass morsels of grass by the act of scratching her in a way that gives her relief damsha nivaranaihi by damshaha is one word used for fly that which bites dashati iti damshaha something like that okay so so it's like one of the gunavachaka of a fly okay so damsha nivaranaihi by removing nivarana means to take them away okay so by the act of swatting the flies away okay avyahataihi swairagataihi okay so without I mean when he takes her goes along with Nandini okay which we have to kind of imagine here because previous instance was they having done the seva of Nandini and tied the calf etc and all that right so now the cow has been released obviously to the forest grazed cow this is Nandini So avyahataihi swairagataihi means basically he did not again further restrict her movement. He allowed her to graze where she wanted as she was moving along. So by the act of letting her free to move upon her own desire, swairagataihi avyahataihi, by that whole act. Okay. Cha. So by all these acts, by feeding her tasty morsels of grass, by moving his hand softly over her body to remove the scratches, by swatting the flies away, by actually allowing her in an unbridled fashion to move freely, by all these acts, tasyaha samaradhana tatparaha abhut. No, again, tatparaha is a pratama ekavachana. So, samrat is a pratama ekavachana. So, we have to connect to that. So, the king, samrat, okay, the king of kings, basically, and samaradhana tatparaha. Okay, so aradhana means seva, puja, seva in this case because he is doing seva of the cow. Some means in a sushtu, in a samyak way, in a proper way. Okay. So tatparaha, tatparaha, tat is in that act. Paraha means one who is engaged. Tatparaha means one who is engaged in that direction, in that activity. So one who is engaged in the activity of doing seva in a proper way. That is the now Visheshana to Samrat. But it has been put in the end towards here because that is what he became by doing all these beautiful acts. Okay, so see how the Kavi plays with Tritiya Vibhakti, Visheshana Visheshya pairs, etc. Okay, he describes all the proper sevas one can do to a cow, a holy cow like Nandini, of course. So Samaradhana Tatparaha Abhut. So this is past tense. So Abhut, he became like that. Abhavat and another lakara. Okay. So not lung, but lit lakara. Aparoksha bhuta, I think. Okay. Sorry. Paroksha bhuta. So saha samrat asvadavadbihi trinanam kavalaihi kanduyanaihi damsha nivaranaihi अव्याहतैः स्वैरगतैः च तस्याः समाराधनतत्परः अभूत् is the closure. Okay. So notice this kind of bracketing that I have done where there are multiple words that belong as one phrase. So when we read, no, especially in a proper sentence, it is very important that we give the right tonal component, what we call tone language, tone part of the language. There is body part of the language, which we call body language, but there is also tonality, which plays an extremely critical role in communication. Even when we speak English, we use tones. If we went in a flat way, it won't be conveying the message in accurate way because tones play a huge role in conveying the moods, the bracketings, the commas, etc. Okay, so that's what it's done even in Sanskritam very clearly. Okay.
नमस्ते महोदय, एकः संशयः अस्ति. गतिः गतिः
मम एकः संशयः अस्ति. अहं न, मम संशयः अस्ति. वदतु वर्ये.
गतिः इत्युक्ते मूव्मेंट.
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
It can mean movement in one place, it can mean target in another place. Okay. It's context dependent. Yeah.
अत्र गतिः इत्युक्ते बहविः गतिः अस्ति. गतैः पुल्लिङ्गे अस्ति वा?
So, we will have yeah, obviously it is pullinga dvitiya tritiya vibhakti bahuvachana like ramaihi. It's very clear, right? But even technically remember, even napumsakas can take the same form in tritiya vibhakti. Only in pratama and dvitiya napumsakas vary from pullinga. Okay, so let us later patiently wait for the analysis of that word to understand. Okay, they will clearly explain that, I guess. Okay.
धन्यवाद.
Swaira means with one's own desire, and gam shabda is there, but in a gata form. Okay, gataihi. Okay. And afyahatai is a visheshana to swaira gataihi. Okay.
Ama.
So, Pratipadartha, we kind of have understood the meaning, so you guys focus on this. Okay. So, let us see the Tatparya section, and then let's see the probably they will do the word analysis later, and hopefully the Swairani Gatani. See, there is analysis. So, Taihi. Okay. Swairam is the padam, Gatam. So, Swairam, Gatam is the original pair. Okay, and that has been pluralized, of course, in Karmadharya itself. It could have been done as Swairam Gatam, Swaira Gatam, Tani, Swaira Gatani. That is the more standard. And then Vibhakti Viparyaya, Taihi, Swaira Gataihi. So Napumsakapada. Okay,
अस्तु
so Swaira Gatam is a Napumsakapada.
अस्तु
And Swairagatani is plural and Taihi. They have done the Prathama plural and then the Tritiya plural. But I would do Prathama Ekavachana Vigraha, write the Ekavachana Vakya, and that then put Taihi Swairagataihi straight away. Karmadhare. Okay. So Gatam is the original this
word
word.
pada
And this is attaching a quality to that karma dharaya. So this bears that karma. It dharati. Uttarapadam kshamyatam. Uttarapadam purvasya karmam dharayati. So swairam gatam.
अस्तु
Okay. So Sudakshina ashramam pratinivritta. So she returned back. Okay, that's what has been kind of Preshitavan explained. So that Sevakaha api pratyagachan. They obviously honored the king's directive. Raja Dilipaha ekaki. Ekaki in the sense of Purusha, not in sense of otherwise. Dhenu was very much there. Ekaki dhenum nayan. Taking the cow. Aranya Marge Gatavan. He went along the forest path. This is a little bit of inference from the surrounding. Okay, here nothing is explicit here about Aranya and all that, but it is there from earlier verses. Kind of you can interpret that. Saha dhenave trinani khaditum dadatisma. So this asvadavadbihi trinanam kavalaihi karya samaradhana tatparaha abut. That because he became engaged in pleasing the cow and doing the seva of the cow by feeding her tasty morsels of grass. Maybe what she couldn't directly reach because maybe there was something else blocking her mouth to access it. Or generally what we do, right? So by that act, so that's they have separated it into a explanation. Saha, Dilipaha, Dhenave. So Trinani Khaditum Tadati Sma. Of course, they use Sma Prayoga to take it to past tense. So Dattavan is also fine. Tani Trinani Bohu Ruchikarani Asan. Oh, here they have taken Yanasandhi for some reason. Usually they avoid. But anyway, Tani Trinani, those morsels of grass were very tasty. Tada tada Raja Denoho Sharirasya Upari Hastam Prasarya. See how they have expanded Kanduyanam as one complex word with Rudhi Artha, which means scratching. Simply in normal meaning, it means scratching. But in the context of him carrying out that act on the cow, it becomes this description. Tada tada, now and then. We use tada tada, aga aga. Tada tada, tabi tabi. Raja Denoho Sharirasya Upari, on top of the body of the cow. That means on the skin of the cow. Hastam prasarya, by spreading his hand or fingers. Kanduyanam karotisma, he would scratch her. Okay, Sharire sthitan damshan duri karotisma. See, damshan. So damshaha, okay, is a insect. So damshan duri karotisma, he would swat them away. Nandini yatra gantum ichchati, where Nandini desires to go, derived from Swairagamanam. Swairaga. So, gantum ichchati, tatraiva rajapi gacchati sma. By afvyahata, that means he did not say, hey, don't go there, like that, which we keep doing to our kids. Right? So, he didn't do that. Okay? Raja pi gacchati sma. Tasyaha gamanasya nishedham na karoti sma. Little bit more accent to that earlier. Okay. Evam vivida prakaraihi. So these vivida prakaras are the various bracketed and non-bracketed Tritiya Bahuvachanas here. Okay, Chakravarti, Samrat, Dilipah, Tam Nandinim Sevitavan. That's what Samaradhana Tatparaha Abhut. I mean, Aradhanam Kritavan, Sevam Kritavan. Like that. Okay. So it sounds so lame in Tatparya, and it's much better sounding from Kalidasa's mouth once we understand it. Because we learn some new thing, this Swairagama, Swairagata Shabda. Swairagatam in the Napumsaka form. So Anvaya Krama. So clearly Abhut is the straightforward lit Shabda. So Abhut, Abhavat. They have shown the lat translation. Sorry, the lung translation, the past tense that we more commonly use. Kriya Padam. So next question, Kaha Abhut. So here what you would pick? I would pick Samrat, right? So that's what they have kind of. Okay, Saha. There is Saha is there. So they took that. You couldn't reverse the order. There is no Samrat Saha. But they picked the Sarvanama first. Saha Samrat is a better order. So Saha Samrat. So they have taken Kaha Abhut, Saha Saha Abhut. I mean, he was the one who was the Karta of the he became like that. So then Kidrishaha Saha Samrat Saha. So they took out Samrat as a Visheshana to this Sarvanama. Here at next to Saha, I would put in brackets Dilipaha. Okay, that is better. Then Kidrishaha Abhut. Okay, Punah, this is slightly different. Not Kidrishaha Saha. Samaradana Tatparaha Abhut. So the again, technically as Kidrishaha Saha, not a problem. Samaradana Tatparaha is still a correct answer. It's okay. You can directly link to the Abhut also. So Kidrishaha Abhut, Samaradana Tatparaha Abhut, Kasyaha Samadana. Here there is a Shashti relationship. So these two are differently related, not as a Visheshana Vishesha, as the possessor possessed. So Kasyaha Samaradana Tatparaha, Tasyaha. And here you would put Nandinyaha in bracket. There Saha will be Dilipaha, Nandinyaha of Nandini. Okay. Kaihi Samaradhanam, with what? Okay. So Kavalaihi. Visheshana for that is Asvadavadbihi Kavalaihi. Kesham Kavalaihi, Shashti question. So this Kavala Shabda is related to Asvadavadbihi through Visheshya Visheshana and to Trunanam using Sambandha. Okay. Possessed, possessor. So Kesham Kavalaihi, Trinanam Kavalaihi. So they have asked sequentially for that one. Okay. So that is one Kaihi. So again, Punaha Kaihi Kanduyanaihi. Punaha Kaihi Damsha Nivaranaihi. Punaha Kaihi Swairagataihi. So you don't need to go Kaihi Samaradhanam like that again and again. You can just go Punaha Kaihi Kanduyanaihi. So all this of course means Punaha Kaihi Samaradhanam Kanduyanaihi Samaradhanam. Damsha Nivaranaihi Samaradhanam. Swairagataihi Samaradhanam. Tatparaha Abhut. So they link that. Samaradhanam, I mean, Samaradhana Tatparaha is one. So here they have separated out because Kaihi Samaradhana Tatparaha, if they write Abhut also, they have to type in. So they took the infinitive Samaradhanam like that. But if you can't figure that out, Kaihi Abhut is also fine. Kaihi Abhut, Kavalaihi Abhut. I mean, Kaihi Samaradhana Tatparaha Abhut is even better question, which clearly explain a better relationship for Abhut to Kaihi. Okay. So like.
Sir, mama ek sandeham asti sir.
मम एकः सन्देहः अस्ति.
मम एकः सन्देहः
अस्ति. वदतु वर्य.
सर आस्वादवद्भिः इत्युक्ते किम्?
भवद्भिः like that. आस्वादवद्भिः.
कीदृशै कवलैः?
आस्वादवत् तृणम्. आस्वादवत् तृणम्. तकारान्त अथवा दकारान्त जस्त्वं स्वीकुर्वन्ति. तकारान्त नपुंसकलिङ्ग आस्वादवत् इति. आस्वादवान्, आस्वादवती, आस्वादवत्.
But what would be the exact meaning of aswada?
Swada means what? You're familiar, right? Swada means taste, no? Swada. Okay. Rasa swada, like that you have heard. Swada. Means complete sense. Aswada means in a complete sense a tasty. Okay. And then tadvat, it is telling about the association with the trinam. Aswadavat trinam, like that. Okay. A is a upasarga. A swada comes from the dhatu. I don't know exactly the dhatu's original rupa. And then vat comes from clearly ktavatu, I think.
It's
Dhanyavad.
taking
Aswad.
3/3. It is taking 3/3 because it's Visheshna to Kavalaihi, sir. That is
Aswadavadbihi, correct. Tritiya bahuvachana rupam svikritam
Yeah.
asti. Trina
Yes.
kavalaihi. Yeah, correct. Not trinam, but
Trinanam
trinakavalam.
kavalaihi.
Trinakavalam, I should have said. It's kavalaihi. Aswadavadbihi kavalaihi. Trinanam kavalaihi. Yeah.
Trinanam Kavalaihi.
I'm assuming kavalam is the word. Let's assume for that. No. Okay. So, for example, if you say gatavan and decline it, it goes in the similar sense if you almost notice. Okay. Gatavadbihi, like that. Okay. So, where we were? Yeah. So, like this. So, punaha kaihi swairagataihi, there kidrishaihi swairagataihi. So, about this swairagamana kriya, free movement kriya, there is by what type of free movement? By avyahatahi, by unrestricted free movement. Here, by unrestricted free movement implies that that movement is of the cow. Without extra attempt, it is clear to us. Okay. So, here Kanduyana is about scratching. It is not about the cow. Damsha Nivarana is about the act of removing the insects. It's not about the cow or Dilipa. It itself is a standalone noun. It is not a Visheshana or anything. It is a Karana word to the eventual Kriyapada Abhut. Okay.
Namaste, Mahodaya. Is it for the Samaradhan, he is ready for everything? So all the kriyas lined up, cha. Aswad bihi, Trunanam Kavali, cha.
Yeah. Without any cha, it is implicit cha is there by all these tritiyas. Yeah. But, before we go to abhut, samaradhana tatparaha abhut is the correct linkage. Okay. Tatparata, whatever is the act of tatparata, that is probably the one which primarily links to these tritiyas. Eventually to abhut. Because
sir, it is tadparyam, no sir? Tatparaha, tadparyam.
The tatparyam is kind of derived as a taddita from tatparata. Correct. Tatpara.
Tatpara ityukte siddha, right? Siddha.
One who is engaged in that. Tatparyam means that which meaning which is engaged towards the verse or some sense like
happy
that.
To do.
See, Rudi Balas take these words to different meanings. Okay. The literal sense of Tatparyam means to be devoted to something. Tatparyam. But what is the meaning of to be devoted to something in the Rudi Bala of a simpler translation? I mean, this explanation is devoted to the verse. That's all we can take that kind of devotion, or not devotion is probably not the word, the directionality of this towards that. Okay. So let us see this words form. So aswadavat. So you guys were asking about this, right? Aswadavat. Okay. So vadbihi, like this another. Yeah. So that's what aswadavat shabdah, tritiya vibhakti bahuvachana, that become avadbihi, like that. Aswadavadbihi. Okay, and then kavala shabda, and this is in pullinga. So kavalamna kavalaha iti. So we stand corrected. But rupa will be kavalaihi even in napumsaka, but we should always know, oh, it is kavalaha. So over time we will gather this. Because we may not see it in Pratama Rupa, we may not sometimes home in Kavalam sounds good to all South Indians. Kavalam sounds good because everything we do We are ammars. But Kavalaha is the original form. Kavalaha.
Swadu would be from Swadu, right? Swad, what would be from
Swadu.
Swadu?
Swadu. maybe a avyaya derived swad. We have to see what is the proper pratipadika of swada only, I think. Swada is a pratipadika.
अस्वादवत् मत प्रत्यय
Swadaha is a ktanta type of derivative. But there is a dhatu behind it. We should look for it, like swadati or swadate, something like that. Tastes, that sense. Okay, we should look for that. Okay. They haven't gone that far. You see, again, even at this level, the description given to Aswadavat is very limited. We should actually identify the ang separately. We should identify the proper dhatu separately. We should identify the pratyaya type separately, and then say from that. So we have to go behind it a little bit to understand. Then we will start appreciating. But we know aswadana as a word, so we kind of, okay, we have to if we keep digging down to the bricks, it is an endless exercise. But it is a possible exercise in Sanskritam because there are bricks. So there is a ang brick, there is a swadl or something like that, and then there is a pratyaya associated with all that. Okay. Yeah. So trina shabdaha napumsaka. So trinam. Okay. Kavalaha pullinga, but trinam is napumsaka. Okay. Trinanam kavalaihi. Anyway, relationship was from this to that. Okay. So napumsaka shashti vibhakti bahuvachana. Trinanam, of the grass. Grasses. Of course, we don't say grasses in English. English is a strange language. Grass is also plural. Okay. Kanduyana shabdaha. So this is napumsaka. Kanduyanam is the pratama ekavachana rupa, and kanduyanaihi is tritiya bahuvachana. That's what they have written here. Okay. And then again, kanduyana will have its vyutpatti, but sometimes we have to kind of stop somewhere. So they have decided, okay, let's stop at the pratipadika level now. And some interesting ones they break here. Some interesting ones for samasas they break here. Okay. Aswadavat is not attacked, you see, because it's a vyutpatti. It's not a samasa. Okay. It is a kridanta vyutpatti with a upasarga. So by its absence in the samasa list, they're telling something that it is not a samasa. There is no samasa between yeah. So that's what. Damsha nivarana shabda, napumsamsha nivaranam, damsha nivaranaihi. Okay. Avyayacha, no problem. Avyahata. Okay, so avyahata was in what form there? Avyahataihi swairagataihi. Visheshana to swairagataihi. Avyahataihi tritiya bahuvachana. Unrestricted. Swairagata shabda. See? Swairagata. Napumsaka. So original form is swairagatam. And that is a samasta. Okay. So avyahata is a samasta because of nai. Na vyahata. Vyahatam. Avyahatam. Taihi avyahataihi. Okay. Swairagata. Swairam gatam. Swairagatam. Taihi swairagataihi. They have done bahuvachana here, but you could do ekavachana also. So one is nai samasa, negation, and then one is karma dharaya. Then tad tatparaha. Okay. Tatparaha has been, but here they kept it like that. Where is this tad coming from here?
Even
Takaranta.
Bahuvrihi.
Tad
They have given
shabdaha
here
pullinga.
Bahuvrihi.
One second. Let me solve this to 9 and 10. Where they picked up 9 and 10. Oh, saha tasyaha. Correct. Saha is tad shabda, tasyaha is tad shabda. Here saha is from coming for dilipa in pullinga, and tad shabda for strilingas
Nandini.
nandinyaha. Okay, shashti ekavachana. So nandinyaha, tasyaha, tad shabda going to tasyaha in strilinga, and dilipaha going to saha in pullinga ekavachana. Both are tad shabdas. Very interesting. Okay, 9 and 10. Then samraj. See, okay. Originally the pratipadika is samraj. So somehow samrat is generated. Okay. Pratama ekavachana. I don't know. We don't know. There, that's the table I have here. It's an interesting word. So samrat, samrad. Two rupas are there in Pratama ekavachana, but technically you can say one is a jastva rupa and one is a chartva rupa. Also you can think of it. So samrat, samrajau. See here, ja sound comes back. Samrajau, samrajah. Samrajo. Samrat. If I am reading samrat, I am making mistake. This is my eternal problem. Samrat. Okay. Samrat, Samrajau, Samrajah. Samrat, Samrajau, Samrajah. Same form. Okay. And then Samrajam, Samrajau. Okay, this is Sambodhana. Okay. Forget that second line. Samrajam, Samrajau, Samrajah. So it's a second vibhakti. Samraja, Samradbyam. So Dakara comes back here. Samradbyam, Samradbihi. Samraje, Samradbhyam, Samradbyah, Samrajah, Samradbyam, Samradbyah. So Samrajah comes in many places, Shashti Ekavachana and Panchami also. So we have to be very careful with this overlapping forms. So then Samraji, Samrajoho, Samratsu, Samrat. What is this takara? Why Samratsu? I don't know why this. I'm not too sure of this. Anyway, Samratsu seems obvious. I don't know where this takara Adesha is coming from, but God knows. Okay, so
Is it Jakarant ending or Takarant ending word then?
the
Samrat.
Pratipadika is Samraj, but the Pratama Ekavachana Rupa is Samrat.
Okay, so it will be Jakarant. Huh?
It is Jakaranta Shabda. Very rare, right? Events. Yeah. Interesting, but quite a difficult one to decline,
Yeah, it's
I
written
would say.
here. It's written in the
Ja
text.
and da and ta are all appearing all over for the last letter.
I think some
Okay.
Sandhi takes place, if I'm not wrong. No? I don't know.
Some of them are these sandhis that happen more in the internal prakriya of Vyutpatti. Yeah. Okay.
Even Vanij was like that. What? Vanij.
Damshanam nivaranani Shashti Tatpurusha. Okay, taihi damsha nivaranaihi. Of course, bahuvachana derivation. Damshasya nivaranam is also fine. Damshasya nivaranam, damsha nivaranam. Taihi damsha nivaranaihi. I prefer the ekavachana simpler derivative going to straight to the correct vibhakti and vachana form using taihi. Okay, na vyahatam avyahatam. Nai becoming a instead of an. So na vyahatam avyahatam taihi avyahatahi. So swairaniga dharma karma dare. So this one is basically both are in the same vachana vibhakti prathama vibhakti form. Okay, swairam gatam is the normal form. It's a swairam gatam. Okay, then swaira gatan gataihi using taihi. Okay. Tad eva paraha yasya saha. Tat paraha. Tadeva paraha yasya saha. That itself is ultimate to whomsoever. I mean, one who is engaged in an act looks at that act as the ultimate thing, right? So the Vyutpatti is very interesting. Tatpara word, Laukika meaning is one who is engaged in something. But you see how the meaning comes from the original words. One for whom that itself is the ultimate. That such a fellow is Tatparaha. Of course, Yasyaha sa will become Tatpara. Okay. But the para shabda is a pullinga shabda. So tadeva paraha yasya saha tatparaha. Tat in the sense of saha eva paraha technically, because paraha is a pullinga. Technically it won't be incorrect to saha eva paraha yasya saha. Okay. Tat can be taken as a vidheka bhava. No, not incorrect at all. So tad eva paraha. That itself is ultimate to of whomsoever. That fellow is tatparaha. In this case, Dilipa. Bahuvrihi. Okay. And then Samaradhane Tatparaha. This is Saptami Tatpurusha placement. In one who is Tatpara in Samaradhana Kriya. One who is devoted to the act of Seva. Samaradhana Tatparaha. So, see this one. See, Rame Bhaktihi. For Saptami Tatpurusha, always remember this. This Tatparata is involved. So, some kind of feeling is involved. The feeling is placed in that person in whom you are devoted. Rame Bhaktihi. Okay? So, it's not Ramasya Bhaktihi. It is not, Bhakti is not emerging from Rama. Bhakti is emerging from us and is placed in Rama. So, we have to know who is the source of this Tatparata. Right, the Tatparata, so this Tatparata bhava in Dilipa, for reason which he is a Tatpara himself, titled so, Okay, it is coming with the placement of such a tatparata upon the samaradhana kriya, in the act of seva. Okay, that focus is placed on the activity of seva. Samaradhane tatparaha. Over time, you will get it. So you will try your head with other options. Samaradhanam tatparaha doesn't sound right. Samaradhanena tatparaha. By samaradhana he is engaged. No, samaradhana is not the cause of tatparata. So you can reject that. Direction is wrong. So like this, if you slowly go, no, you will end up, okay, samaradhanaya tatparaha sounds the direction is right. For the sake of samaradhana, tatparata. So, but here, samaradhana is just an act. Eventually, the tatparata reaches towards the cow. So, saptami placement is slightly better. Adhikarana. Samaradhane tatparaha. This tatparata is eventually placed in the bhakti type on the cow. Little.
Tata eva paraha yasya saha means something he goes beyond his own self, like goes to his
No.
extremes.
That itself is ultimate for whomsoever. He.
Okay.
Here, for whomsoever has taken, of whomsoever has been taken. Shashti, of whomsoever. That itself is the ultimate of whomsoever. That fellow is that itself ultimater.
Something he's excelling himself at, he does it as to his limits. Or
No,
something.
that is his total engagement. That is one of the essential qualities to excel. Not everything.
Mhm.
He has to be skilled also. I mean, if you have to be a tatpara in fixing your faucet, you should also know how to fix it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
just engaging is useful. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's all. That's all I meant.
Okay.
Should have the technology and the focus. Yeah.
Okay. Understood.
Okay, I think we spent a lot of time there. So let us read the verse once. We'll not forget. Asvadavadbihi kavalais trinanam kanduyanair damsha nivaranaischa avyahataihi svairagataihi satasyaha samrat samaradhana tatparo bhut. So Samskrita Sahitya Parichaya. So let us, for lack of time, I'll quickly read it off. Okay. We don't need, I think, meaning. It's fairly simple Samskrita. At this level, I don't think you guys will desire the meaning unless somebody has some confusion somewhere or one difficult word comes up, I will put my mouth. Let me see some show of hands for volunteers to read it, but fairly quickly. Lakshmi R. Lakshmi, can you start off? Samskrita Sahitya Parichaya Gadya Kavyam. What is Gadya Kavyam? It's been explained in this section. Read, Bagini.
संस्कृत साहित्य परिचयः गद्य काव्यम् काव्यं द्विविधं काव्यं द्विविधं गद्यं पद्यं चेति.
So there are two types, Gadya and Padya. Gadya means prose and Padya means poetry. Okay.
Shlokamayam padyam.
One poetry is full of shlokas. That's all they're saying. Okay.
Tad bhinnam kavyam gadyam.
That which is not. Tad bhinna means that which is different than shloka. That means that which is not in metric order is called, it's also kavya. Say all are kavya. Remember. So kavya should not be confused with padya. Kavya encompasses gadya, and padya is padya is when there is shloka or metric sense. Shlokamayam means here some other, basically as a verse in the sense of a verse. Tad binnam kavyam gadyam.
Gad yaktayam vachi.
Gad is the dhatu meant for talking, telling.
Dhatutah gadyam iti shabda nishpannaha.
Gadyam, that which is to be read. Okay, that which is to be read, told. That sense is there for Gadyam. Nishpannaha means vyutpannaha, that sense. That which generated, born from that kind of meaning.
Samanyatah pradeshika bhashasu padyameva kavyamiti vyavaharah drishyate.
All of us Indians think Padyam means Kavyam. They're not too different. This is just another name. We think like that. In all regional languages, Pradeshika Bhasha means regional language. Okay. Vyavahara. That's the Loka Vyaha. That's how we treat it in the normal world. Yeah.
Samskrite tu gadyamapi kavyamiti pariganyate.
Whereas in Sanskrit Vangmaya, we don't think like that. We Kavya means both Gadya and Padya. I mean, there's a lot of quality even in a textual writing. Necessarily, you don't need just metric arrangement and alankaras. Alankaras can come even in prose, as far as things are concerned with Sanskrit Vangmaya.
Gadya
Thanks,
kavya
Bhagini.
rachanam.
Thanks.
Dhanyavada.
धन्यवादः भगिनी निरञ्जना वर्य
आम् गद्यकाव्यरचनायां पद्यस्य इव अधिकाः नियमाः न सन्ति
so there are not a lot of rules when we talk of prose.
तथापि गद्यरूपेण लिखितं सर्वमपि काव्यमिति न मन्यते
See this important line. So just today you and I write something like, for example, what we are looking at is not kavya. What we are looking at is some writing, okay, for our purpose of exam, etc. I cannot make a book out of this piece and say, okay, this is I mean, for example, this Kovida Pustaka is not a kavya, right? It is some kind of a textbook. It's limited to that. Okay, though somebody put a lot of effort to compose this from for describing what is Gadya Kavya, that doesn't make it a Kavya. There are certain rules. So we will see slowly.
गद्यकाव्यस्य शैली रमणीया भवेत्
So there has to be a style which is pleasing.
वर्णनं रसपोषणं पात्रपोषणम् इत्यादिकं सर्वमपि परस्परं पूरकं भवेत्
Purakam bhavet.
पूरकं भवेत्
So description, feeding of the tastes. I mean, basically, Rasaposhana here means when we read a kavya, there is some feelings that emerge in us. We like something, we laugh at something, we become upset with something, we wonder about something. All those are Rasaposhana acts done by the kavya upon us. Okay. Patra Poshanam. So there are some characters, for example, how Vyasa plays with the characters there. How he describes Duryodhana's character in a certain way, showing his good side also where required, but clearly highlighting his bad side. And even same for Dharmaraja also. He doesn't have any biased view. He has a very, very naked Patra Poshana for Dharmaraja where he makes all his faults also come out in the way he composes the weaknesses of Dharmaraja. So like this, with lot things like this are to be present so that they are feeding each other to enhance the quality of the output. So yeah, continue.
स्वेच्छया कश्चित् किञ्चित् गद्यरूपेण लिखति चेत् तत् काव्यं न भवति
So one day I will sit and write something and it is fairly accurate Samskrita, doesn't make it kavya.
गद्यकाव्यं लेखितुमपि प्रतिभा परिश्रमः च आवश्यकः
So a lot of talent is and effort is required. These are the two aspects, Bhagini. Pratibha and Parishrama. Brain and brawn is what we say in English, right? So you need brain and brawn. Yeah, effortlessly only Kalidasa perhaps can produce. Continue, Bhagini.
दोषरहितं रसभरितं काव्यम् एव सहृदयानां श्लाघनं प्राप्नोति
That which is bereft of mistakes. See, look, this book itself, Kovida book, it lot of revisions, editions, etc. took place before the first edition ever came out. Then they still had to make correction. So today we are able to appreciate this book because lot of purification has taken place to make sure that incorrect form, something that is supposed to be pullinga is not in napumsaka, etc. Such errors. And mere slow things like typo s instead of Shakara, some Alpaprana Shakara has, I mean, basically, in Shankara Shakara has been put instead of Talavya, instead of Murdanya. These kind of mistakes also occur if we are not aware, right? Those are not present. That's why it makes for a high quality textbook, because you can trust it. So, dosharahitam, rasabharitam, that which does help us to create different rasas, okay, in us, then that only is kavyam eva. Such a creation only will obtain the appreciation of sahridaya. See, sahridaya word is a very important word. Sahridaya word is also meaning not anybody is qualified to read anything and appreciate it. Sometimes, if I open a deep mathematics book and open the integration chapter and read one paragraph, I will just sign out, okay, quickly. Hopefully, in my engineering days, I used to not sign out. But anyway, so if I am able to resonate with the writings and understand and track, then I am a sahridaya. I am having the similar heart, basically similar ability to comprehend as the writer. Then I will appreciate the writing. Right? Okay, continue.
अतः एव उक्तं गद्यं कविनां निकषं वदन्ति इति वदन्ति इति
वदति गद्यं कवीनां निकषं वदति प्रायः वदन्ति निकषम् इति वदन्ति. इति has been skipped, that's why वदन्ति if it doesn't fit. गद्यं कवीनां निकषम् इति वदन्ति. So what is this phrase gadyam? Because when you do padya rachana, there is at least some escape in the fact that you can place it in a meter and throw in one or two alankaras and be happy. So it is kind of a low-hanging fruit. They say it's a low-hanging fruit because there is already some things laid out for you. As long as it fits the meter accurately, and then it has some one or two alankaras here, there, and one or two anuprasa, shabdalankaras, people will appreciate it. Perhaps it's a easy way out. But when you are doing prose and still you have to be called a kavya, you don't have this simple metric arrangements to become servant to and quickly satisfy. So now you have to focus on the quality of the text itself. How do you lay out the story? How do you bring out the characters? Those become more critical in a gadya. Okay. So that's why nikasha. What is this nikasha shabda? To test the quality of gold, goldsmiths in Bharat used to use a special stone. Okay, so that stone, I don't know how, but that stone, maybe there is a particular scratch it does, and by the quality of the scratch and color, etc., they could tell the quality of gold. So so the gadya itself becomes the gold proving stone for the kavis. I mean, to determine the kavitva. So people say, iti panditaha vadanti. Like, okay, continue, Bhagini.
Sir, there's a question from Anne, I think. Shlagnam prapnoti ityukte praise get appreciation from
praise shlaganam prapnoti means one begets praise. Shlaganam karoti means one gives praise. That is the difference. Okay. Shlaganam prapnoti obtains praise. Shlaganam karoti gives praise. Shlaghayati, not shlaghati. Shlaghayati is one praises. It's a latlakar active kriyapada. Okay. I think Bhagini corrected herself to Shlaganam prapnoti. Okay, continue, Varye.
गद्य काव्यस्य रचनया एव कवेः कवित्वशक्तेः परीक्षा भवति इति तस्य वाक्यस्य अर्थः.
The meaning of this earlier sentence, which I also explained, is it means it becomes an examination. The ability of a kavi's ability of a kavi is known through his gadya kavya more, like that. That's what the meaning. Nikashaha. See here they explain. Read Bhagini.
निकषः इत्युक्ते सुवर्णस्य परीक्षार्थं प्रयुज्यमाना शिला.
Shila. So Shila means a piece of stone. It need not be a small piece, but in this context, it better be a small piece. So the Shila is a Strilinga Shabda. So the stone that is used for testing gold. See, the English goes bottom up of Samskrita. Weird. Thanks, Bhagini. Well done, well read.
You.
Oh God, I have so many people. Let me pick up somebody new. Chitra Jahagirdar. Very active student set I have. Chitra Jahagirdar, Bhagini.
So can I also read, sir?
Wait a
Sir,
minute, Bhagini. I'm
sir,
trying.
are you able to hear me?
Yes, I am able to hear you, Bhagini. Continue.
Okay. गद्यकाव्ये प्रधानतया ओजो गुणः भवेत्.
So, in Gadya Kavya, in a majorly way, in a primary way, Ojo Gunaha. So, there has to be Ojas in the quality of Ojas in the Gadya Kavya. So, they will explain what is Ojas. So, let us patiently wait. It's not. Tejas is one thing, Ojas is another thing. So, Tejas is basically the brightness. Ojas is
Inner
similar but
beauty.
different.
Inner
Continue,
beauty,
begin.
no, sir, Ojas.
Huh?
Ojas is inner beauty, no? So Tejas is outer beauty, or Ojas is uh, inner beauty.
Perhaps. Very good. Continue, Bhagini.
समासभूयत्वम् ओजो गुणस्य लक्षणम्.
Samasa bhuyastvam. So, samasa bhuyastvam is a quality of samasa bhuyatva. Okay, so basically samasa bhuyaha, samasa bhuyastvam. Okay, so samasa bhuyas iti pratipadikam. That's why it became bhuyastvam. Okay, so gunatvam like that, bhuyastvam. So samasa bhuyastvam. So bhuya means in plenty. Okay, so samasa bhuyastvam means plentiful presence of samasa padas. See, like samasa padas, one samasa is actually almost like a paragraph to us, right? At least a sentence, if not a paragraph. So it makes for very what you call condensed writing, which describes a lot in a quick manner. Okay. After a while, it's like a shortcut to our brain. Without trying to read a long sentence, with one samasa, we get the whole picture. Right? That's what. So for Ojo Guna, Samasa Bhuishta, the Kavya should be Samasa Bhuishta. Okay? That's what. Continue, Bhagini.
समासकरणेन अल्पैः शब्दैः एव अधिकः विषयः वक्तुं शक्यते इत्येव अधिकतया समासः उपयुज्यते.
So by a small number of letters, a lot of meaning can be conveyed. That is why Samasas are seen aplenty.
कविः दण्डी एवम् उक्तवान् ओजः समासभूयत्वम् एतत् गद्यस्य जीवितम् इति.
So Dandi, actually he's called Samasa King. Okay, Dashakumara Charitam or something like that. Anyway, I don't remember all the kavyas of Dandi. Anyway, so Ojaha Samasa Bhuyastvam etad Gadyasya Jeevitam. Okay, so he does do separate Oja as beyond even just Samasa Bhuyastvam. One of the things. Okay, but Samasa Bhuyastvam etad Gadyasya Jeevitam. So maybe it's two sentences. Ojaha samasa bhuyastvam etat gadyasya jeevitam. Like that he has connected up to the second one. Okay. So he has given the Lakshana Katana for Oja with respect to Kavya, of course, remember, with respect to Gadya Kavya here especially. And that is the life of Gadya Kavya, he says. Okay. Thanks, Bhagini.
धन्यवाद.
Dhanyavadah. Gopalakrishnan Jayashri.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
पद्यकाव्यस्य अपेक्षया गद्यकाव्ये विषयान् वर्णयितुं कवेः अधिकं स्वातन्त्र्यं विद्यते.
Trayamna, one single letter. Read again.
So 1 minute, I'll see from your this thing.
Swatantriam. No trayam. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Swatantriam. Tantram, tantriam.
Swatantriam.
Swatantriam.
Vidyate.
Okay. So, with weighed against apeksha means some kind of comparative. Okay. Weighed against Padyakavya, in Gadyakavya, the freedom to describe things. Vishaya means some things in storyline. And there is increased freedom for the kavi, for the author.
पद्यकाव्यं श्लोकरूपेण भवति इति कारणेन तत्र नियमाः अधिकाः.
So even shloka, there are more things to be controlled. Okay. So you maybe 50% of your effort goes towards the feeding the metric closures and alankaras that are needed for beauty there, etc. So you get dominated by the myriads of rules with respect to shlokas or padyakavya, if you are going the padyakavya way, which of course Valmiki, Vyasa and all have done. It's not like impossible, but there is a kind of you can say this, there is a defocus from focusing on the storyline towards this effort to put it in metric mode. Yeah.
नियमानां परिधौ एव कविना शब्दाः प्रयोक्तव्याः भवन्ति.
So now, bhavanti. So when he chooses a word, he cannot willy-nilly just put any word that kind of in his mind fits the explanation best. Sometimes he will be forced to pick a weaker word which won't fit so well because that fits the meter. So because he's got a 50% focus on meter, he say, oh, I will just end up using that. Let the reader understand what I mean contextually. Like that, he will be taking certain shortcuts. Whereas when you go Gadhya Kavya, you don't have any such metric restriction. So you can use the exact word that you wish to use to accurately map the intent to the word. Okay, you can follow the Rudi Bala very well. Okay, you don't have to take some artificial yaugika bala of the shabda to take other meanings. That's what they mean by this. Okay, continue, Bhagini.
गद्यकाव्यस्य एतादृशाः नियमाः न सन्ति इति कारणेन स्वस्य इच्छानुसारं शब्दान् प्रयोक्तुं शक्नोति कविः.
So that's what basically, because no such metric rules are present, Guru Lagu, these rules are intervening in our effort to convey words for meaning rather than alankaras and for vritti niyamas, etc. We become a little bit freed. But then, because of that freedom, now there is a higher load on you to fill rasa and make it gahana. You cannot write like Samskrita Bharati style sentences.
Gahana means what, sir? Loaded.
Gahana means weighted, loaded.
Loaded.
Yeah. Import, focused, pointed. Yeah. Thanks, Bhagini. Well done.
Dhanyavad, sir.
Who shall we invite? I think Vijay Agnihotri. I haven't called him earlier. Vijay Agnihotri.
Yes, sir.
Please read, sir.
केचन गद्यकाव्यं कथा आख्यायिका च इति द्विधा विभजन्ते.
Some people, just pause. Some people classify in two ways. Vibhajante. Classify in two ways. One as katha and another as akhyayika, like that. Okay, one is basically akhyayika has a more compact purpose than a katha, which is like a serial. It's a difference between mono act and what you can call 453 episodic serials that we get on Indian TV. Yeah, continue, sir.
कथायाः वस्तु काल्पनिकम्, आख्यायिकायाः वस्तु इतिहास प्रसिद्धञ्च भवति इति ते तयोः भेदं प्रकल्पयन्ति.
So I was a little bit mistaken. It's not like mono act versus giant series. It is more based on the kind of subject matter. So katha is when it is spin. Okay, a little bit of spin is there in the story. But akhyayika is when the spin is less and the focus on true history. Iti ha asa, so it was. That's what itihasa means. Okay. So the subject is more focused on the truth of what we know happened. Okay. I mean, there is a hearsay involved. That's why they use the lakara, paroksha bhuta. So, but at least it is not, running like a wild horse. Okay. So, akhyayika is more bound to the itihasa, whereas katha means a little bit of spinning is permitted. Kalpanikam. Tayoho bedham kalpayati. This is why they create the difference called katha and akhyayika. Something to remember. Okay. One more paragraph you read.
बाणभट्टेन रचितं कादम्बरी नाम काव्यं कथायाः उदाहरणम्.
So this Kadambari is a lot of extended uha is there and Kavi Kalpana is there. So that is called Kavya, Kadambari.
हर्षचरितं नाम काव्यं आख्यायिकायाः उदाहरणम्.
So whereas Harsha Charitam, in fact by the name Charitam, that which happened, okay, history of Harsha and his lineage maybe. So it's a clear itihasa. In fact Ramayanam, Mahabharatam, they all belong in the Akhyayika class, if you want to call them. But they are not Gadya Kavyas, okay? They are Padya Kavyas. But look, this is a little bit more about Gadya Kavya. So Kadambari is a Gadya Kavya, Harsha Charita is a Gadya Kavya. That's why they can be put here. You cannot bring Ramayana, Mahabharata because they are Padya Kavyas. Okay? Thanks, Varya. Well read. Sundaresh, Varya?
पद्यकाव्यस्य इव पद्यकाव्यस्य इव गद्यकाव्यस्यापि इतिहासः प्राचीनः.
So it is not as if only verses were written in the old ages and then later people became little despondent and resorted to prose. No, both are ancient.
व्याकरण महाभाष्ये पतञ्जलिना वासवदत्त सुमनोत्तर भैमरथी इत्यादयः आख्यातिकाः इति उल्लिखिताः.
So in Vyakarana Mahabhashya, which is an ancient grantha available to us, its age is really ancient because we see a lot of later ones refer to it. There is even a verse dedicated to that Patanjali. So he, in his Bhashya of Panini's work, he actually quotes, I don't know, maybe some examples somewhere. Then they use some examples of some sutra. They may use this. So he quotes that Vasavadatta, Sumanottara, Bhaimarati, etc., are Akhyayikas like that. He seems to indicate. So from that we know there, and these are probably lost maybe, not that any of them are available to us. More is lost than what is available, and very little of that is accessed by us. So we don't need to cry over the lost stuff. We need to cry over what we are not reading from available stuff. Anyway, so that's what he is saying. Yeah, continue.
किन्तु एतानि गद्यकाव्यानि न कुत्रापि अद्यपर्यन्तम् उपलब्धानि.
So we don't have any text related to these beautiful names that Patanjali is telling. They are lost, long lost. Thanks, Varya. So,
Mahadev, is it because Akhyayika was oral? Akhya is oral?
Akhyanam doesn't necessarily mean oral. Kathanam also can be mouth, no?
Okay.
So you can't kind of conclude that way.
Okay.
Oral parampara was strong, but there used to be writing. But if it was not written, it will be lost after a generation. So I mean, because who will contestik? Nobody will contestik karana cannot happen of gadyas. Right?
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh, yes.
But the core storylines can be remembered. Precise words will need written scripts, copy of that generations. They made copy of copy and kept it alive.
Correct.
The current Tadapatras are copies of maybe 1000th copy. We don't know. That's why errors also creep in. Yeah. Whom do I call? Subhashri. Subhashri.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Continue, begin.
नमस्कार. सद्यः उपलभ्यमानेषु गद्यकाव्येषु सुबन्धोः वासवदत्ता एव प्राचीनतम काव्यम्.
So in the things that we still have access to, Vasavadatta is still available to us. Okay. So there is this one is there in Patanjali's court. So we do have something left. Continue, Bhagini.
एतस्याः कथा काल्पनिकी.
So it's a imaginary storyline.
अनन्तकालीनेषु
अनन्तरकालीनेषु
गद्यकाव्येषु बाणस्य कादम्बर्याः हर्षचरितस्य च विशिष्टं स्थानमस्ति.
In the later times, Anantara-kalineshu, amongst the granthas of later times, Kalinam, Kalineshu. What is Kalinam? The grantham. Okay, so grantham, no grantha iti pustakam iti swikurmah, atra gadyam iti swikurmah. Anantara-kalinam gadyam, anantara-kalineshu gadyeshu, gadyakavyeshu is clearly here. Banasya kadambaryaha harshacharitasya cha vishishtam sthanam asti. So Bana has two masterpieces, it looks like. I don't know whether Harshatarita is also from Banabhatta. Anyway, at least it implies that way. We don't want to conclude that way because this Banasya may be possessor of only Kadambaryaha. Okay. Anyway, of the Kadambari Grantha of Bana and Harshacharita, maybe also of Bana, we'll have to research that a bit. There is a special place.
He has written both of them, sir. There in
So
our
it's
book.
clear. Okay, he has written both of them.
223 pages there, yes.
Sir, Harshacharita, I think we read it in Parichaya, sir. I mean,
Yeah.
Bana.
It was also Bana, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, good. So then Banasya is a possessor of both Kadambaryaha and Harshacharitasya already here. So this is a double ownership of possessorship of Banasya. But remember, this is a stack of Shashtis. In Samskrita, you have to be very careful who owns what and like. So Bana is the possessor of Kadambari and also the possessor of Harshacharita. Then Kadambari and Harshacharita words are possessors of Sthana. Harshacharitasya sthanam, Kadambaryaha sthanam, Vishishtam asti, special it is, like that. Okay? Continue, Bhagini.
बाणस्य वर्णकौशलं तु अद्वितीयम्.
Here, na iti patitavim, णत्वम् अस्ति, बाणस्य. Okay?
बाणस्य वर्णकौशलं तु अद्वितीयम्.
His ability to describe is unparalleled. Advitiyam. So, dvitiyah nasti iti advitiyam iti. Dvitiyah va dvitiyam va nasti asya iti advitiyam advitiyah va iti. Then it's a kind of nai only. Continue, Bhagini.
तस्य लोकज्ञानं विषयस्य सूक्ष्म अवलोकन सामर्थ्यं च महत् आसीत् इति तस्य काव्ययोः अध्ययनेन ज्ञायते.
So his knowledge of the world, ways of the world, his ability to look at subjects in a very, very microscopic way, sukshmavalokanam, microscopic vision. So that ability was good or great is known by even just studying his kavya. In fact, we say Kalidasa lives permanently through his kavyas. Yeah. Oh God, there is so much to read. Okay, let us take we'll pause here. Let us take a 4 minute water break. Okay, and at least finish this Kavya Katha reading today. Okay, I'm going to take half an hour extra for the loss of the class in the morning. So hopefully you guys will be patient. Okay, so take a water break now. I'll pause the recording and I'll come back in 4 minutes and continue. Okay, welcome back. What I will do is I will ask you to read until here, Diyate. Okay, one of you now. After that, I'll take over and go a little bit fast. Okay. So, Bhagini, Kumuda Bhagini, you unmute yourself and read this segment.
Sadyah, this much we have done, sir. Hadishat Vishishtam Asti. Banasya Varnana Kaushalam to Adityam Tasya Lokajnanam Katha. Harshacharitram Itihasa Prasiddhasya Rajnyaha Harshavardhanasya Vishya Likita Akyaika. Dandinaha Avanti Sundari Katha Dashakumara
Hold on. Actually, Kadambari Kavyasya Vastu Agogita. Oh.
बाणस्य तस्य लोकज्ञानं विषयस्य सूक्ष्मावलोकनं सामर्थ्यं च महत् आसीत् इति तस्य काव्ययोः अध्ययनेन ज्ञायते
ज्ञायते कादम्बरी कार्यस्य वस्तु काचित् काल्पनिकी
काचित्
अर्चते राज्ञ
कथा
you read that also.
ओके कादम्बरी काव्यस्य वस्तु काचित् काल्पनिकी कथा
So it is an imaginary story.
हर्षचरितम् इतिहासप्रसिद्धस्य राज्ञः हर्षवर्धनस्य विषये लिखिता आख्यायिका.
It is a more historic representation of the history of this king called Harshavardhana.
दण्डिनः अवन्ती सुन्दरी कथा दशकुमारचरितं धनपालस्य तिलकमञ्जरी वादीभसिंहस्य गद्यचिन्तामणिः इत्यादीनि अन्यानि प्रसिद्धानि गद्यकाव्यानि.
So there are a few more examples. At least remember one or two critical ones. Difficult to commit so many of these things. But few names will stick. So Harsha Charitam, Kadambari, Dashakumara Charitam of Dandi. So few names will stick. Few difficult to remember everything. Okay, so try to remember one or two Kavi's name. For example, we know Dandi. A very major contributor to the Kavya, like that. Okay. Continue.
गद्यकाव्यं कीदृशं भवति इति ज्ञापयितुम् अत्र हर्षचरितसंग्रह नामकात् ग्रन्थात् उद्धृतः कश्चन भागः दीयते.
So here, in order to help us get a grasp at a light level, not the original Harsacharita, but somebody else in a good high, very olden times. This is also probably done in ancient times. Harsacharita Sangraha, somebody maybe for helping his students, created a summary version of Harsacharita. So in that is also a some kind of mini grantha. So from that grantha, Namakat Granthat, named so, from that book, Uddritaha, extracted. Uddritaha, in this sense, is extracted. Kaschana bhagaha, a certain portion, diyate, is given. Okay. So that's what they are going to make us quickly read this. Now, thanks, Bhagini, for reading this segment. You are quite efficient and quick in reading. That's good to notice. Okay. So, because they are extracting a portion, one line of little bit explanation they have given to place us in the context. Okay. Purvam Shrikanta Janapade Pushpabhutihi Nama Raja Asit. There was a king by the name Pushpabhuti in the country called Shrikanta Janapade, I mean Shrikanta Desha, something like that. Okay. So Shrikanta Janapade Pushpabhutihi Nama Raja Asit. Kadachit Saha Shaiva Gurum Bhairavacharyam Drashtum Sankalpam Karoti. So in his Desha, or in the ashrama around his Desha somewhere, there was a Shaiva Guru, a Shiva Bhakta, senior person by the name Bhairavacharya. Okay, Bhairava, as you know, is also the name Paryaya to Shiva also. Okay, so to see this Bhairavacharya, he decided. Sankalpa means he took a decision. Okay, to go and see him. Anantaram, what happened afterwards is explained. Now, this is actually from Harshacharita Sangraham iti prayah, Purna Nama, tataha swikritam asti. So, patra patamaha. Aparedyuscha pratareva utthaya vajinam adhiruhya katipayaihi eva rajaputraihi parivvrutaha Bhairavacharyam drashtum pratasthe. Atra Karta asti ashmakam Pushpabhutihi, Raja Pushpabhutihi. So we have to imagine Pushpabhutihi like that. Pushpabhutihi aparedyuhu cha aparasmin dine. Okay. Anantara dine. That's what they have given footnotes also to help us with tough new words. Okay. So the next day. Pratah eva, in the morning only. Utthaya, having gotten up. Vajinam adiruhya, having taken straddle upon a horse. Okay, having straddled a horse. कतिपयैः एव राजपुत्रैः परिवृतः, surrounded by a few other princes. Okay. Bhairavacharyam drashtum, in order to see Bhairavacharya. Prathasthe, he proceeded. Okay. गत्वा च किंचिदनन्तरम् अभिमुखम् आपतन्तं भैरवाचार्य शिष्येषु अन्यतमम् अद्राक्षीत्. Okay. So having a little bit, having after having gone, okay, I mean, as he was proceeding or something like that, abhimukam, facing him, apatantam, I mean, one who is coming face to face with him. Okay, so patati has been used in that sense, in the one who is coming down, facing him. That means he's coming in the opposite direction. Okay. Bhairavacharya Shishyeshu Anyatamam Adrakshit. One of the seniors, Anyatama is not necessarily doesn't mean senior, but we can take this one well-known Shishya amongst the Shishyas of Bhairavacharya, amongst the students of Bhairavacharya. One, maybe the elderly one senior one, he saw Adrakshit. Okay. Drishdatu, Drakshit iti rupam. 6 is Drishtavan. This is the Samskrita Bharati form. Okay. Kridanta form. Aprakshitcha. So he asked also. Prishtavan. Okay. Aprakshit. See the use of lakaras. All the wonderful 10 different, 11 if you count in a certain way, lakaras have been fully deployed by these kavis. They are not ktavatu priyas. Ktavatu is like a shortcut we have been taught. Very rarely they resort to ktavatu pratyayas. Okay, so they stick to tingantas like this, and they stick to all colorful lakaras, not just lung also. This may be lung in this case. Okay, okay. So aprakshitcha kva bhavanaste. See the style. Oh, kva bhagavan aste. Okay, bhavan, bhagavan. Kva bhagavan aste iti. So he asked him, who are you, the godly person? Basically, kvahatvam, kahatvam iti, kaha bhavan iti va. Tra beautiful use of aste. Okay. Kva bhavan aste. Like that. Okay. So this is number 8. So if you see, asti, tishtati. So in the meaning of asti. Saha akatayat, so that Shishya akatayat, he told, asya jirna matra grihasya uttarena bilva vatikam adhyaste iti. So this dilapidated houses to the north, the bilva vatika. Bilva is a type of tree, as you know, is an auspicious tree found in temples. So bilva vatika, the what you call vatika, tree grove. Yeah, the grove of bilva trees. I am trying to beget. Adhyaste. I am trying to beget. Okay. Adhivasati. Okay. Adhyaste. So this different rupa. Sometimes you will find in the old kavya, even if today's Panini Pata, as we understand, a certain dhatu is only parasmaipadi or something. In history, you would saw some kind of dual usage, especially in Ramayana Mahabharata. You will see ubhayapaditva of many, which is not in the current Patha. So we just call them Arsha Prayoga and accept it. We are not calling our Shishta Prayoga or something and take it. We don't. But sometimes later kavyas there are more rules. So maybe this dhatu has dual paditva. That's why adhyaste may be there. Anyway,
उपसर्ग अस्ति चेत अपि चेंज होता है ना. If you have adhi is उपसर्ग ना, तो उपसर्ग.
Sometimes you are right. Bhagini is correct. Sometimes upasarga yogena atmanepaditvam prapnoti kadapi. There is a little bit complicated portions there where upasargas influence this paditva. So we did see that also. Yeah, Bhagini.
Oh, here, Ko Bhagavan Aste, so it should be Sambodhana Vibhakti, isn't it? There Bhagavan Aste, or should it be Bhagavan only?
I mean, necessarily it need not be in Sambodhana, right? Bhavan also, Kaha Bhavan also is fine. Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Got it.
I think it's asking where is Bhagwan, if I'm not wrong.
No.
No? I mean, किधर है
He's
वो?
asking
He's gone to meet
he's
somebody
asking who are you, great person, like that.
Oh,
That's the meaning. Don't go so far. Why will our king Pushpabhuti ask one student who is Bhagwan? Where is Bhagwan? I mean,
no. He's gone to meet somebody, na, that I forget.
oh, maybe.
Bhairavacharya.
Bhagavan here refers to
Bhairavacharya.
Bhairavacharya. That is correct. So, where is Bhairavacharya has been asked, Kva Bhagavan aste. Yeah, correct. So, he is saying, he is pointing to some dilapidated Matrugriha. I don't know why it's called Matrugriha. Okay. And to the north, there is a Bilva Vatika. There he is there, staying like that. Correct. Saha. So, Saha Bhaimacharya वा भैरवाचार्यः भैरवाचार्यः तत्र अस्ति इति वक्तुम् आस्ते इति आम् अध्य अस्ति हाँ करेक्ट सो राजा गत्वा च तं प्रदेशम् अवततार प्रविवेश च बिल्ववाटिकां so having gone there he descended from the horse of course along with his other guys the other Rajaputras and entered the Bilvavatika entered the forest grove अथ महतः कार्पटिक वृंदस्य मध्ये ओके सो कार्पटिक वृंदस्य मध्ये प्रातरेव स्नातम् ओके अनुतिष्ठाग्निकार्यं व्याघ्रचर्मणि उपविष्टम् अबहुभाषिणं मन्दहासिनं सर्वोपकारिणं कुमारब्रह्मचारिणं धाम धर्मस्य पत्तनं पूततायाः शालां शीलस्य क्षेत्रं क्षमायाः आकरं करुणायाः समजां सौजन्यस्य भगवन्तं साक्षादिव विरूपाक्षं भैरवाचार्यं ददर्श कवि लेट्स गो ऑफ हिज कल्पना नाउ a little bit okay though it is a itihasa grantha his kalpana is allowed for visheshanas right he's not deviating from the story he's adding a lot of nice visheshanas to the so what kind of Bhaimacharya is in a karma position so what is the sentence Pushpabhutihi Bhairavacharyam dadarsha that's all is the sentence okay Pushpabhuti saw Bhairavacharya over there but in what kind of mood and presence and weightedness and circumstance okay atha is presently that meaning presently mahatah karpatika vrindasya madhye so in a circle of some karpatika I'm not able to understand what is this karpatika vrinda I'll have to I've forgotten I used to know but I have forgotten we will assume some kind of
fruit, I think.
student circle or something like that
I think
okay
it's fruit tree.
fruit tree yeah okay so so within the Bilva Vatika there was a particular type of fruit tree circle in that area that means there was a clearance around there so that is the location of finding Bhairavacharya then pratareva snatam Bhairavacharyam one the fellow who had already done his snana done his washing okay in the morning itself that kind of Bhairavacharyam anutishtatadnikaryam okay so one who has already finished his homakriya agnikarya one who has already finished his sandhyavandana agnikriya whatever okay anusthana means to carry out it properly anusthita means that which has been done so anushtitam agnikaryam yena saha अनुष्ठितग्निकार्यः तम अनुष्ठिताग्निकार्यम् इति द्वितीयाय ओके बहुव्रीहि अगेन व्याघ्रचर्मणि उपविष्टम okay one who is sitting upon the skin of a tiger Abahubhashinam, one who is not given to loose talk.
Mittabhashi.
Mandahasinam, one who is smiling mildly. Okay. So lots of bahuvrihis. Okay. Mandam hasati.
Can we use Mittabhashina also, like same, no? We learnt about it. Abahu Bhashina, Mittabhashina.
Mitabhashinam, correct. Sarvopakarinam, one who is helpful to everyone. Sarvanam upakari eshaha iti sarvopakari. Tam sarvopakarinam. Sarvesham. Sarvesham upakari is basically Shashti Tat Purusha. Sarvopakari. Tam sarvopakarinam. Okay. Because he is the upakari, he is the full angi there. So it cannot be a bahurihi. Okay. But the hasinam, the hasa is a anga of the angi, which is Bhaimacharya. So this is a bahurihi. That's how you have to slowly. Again, bhasha is an anga of the angi. So he is also a bahurihi link. But karinam, upakari is the direct association, 100% association with Bhaimacharya. I think that's how we have to stack it as a Tat Purusha there. Okay. Kumara Brahmacharinam. So one who was a Brahmachari from his young age. Maybe he's still young, we don't know. Dhama Dharmasya. So here Dharmasya Dhama. So this is in Dvitiya. Okay, that's Napumsaka Shabda, I believe, number 10. Ashrayasthanam Griham Dhama. I think we'll have to check. I think is Pratama form and Dvitiya form are both Dhama only. Okay. So we'll figure out that later, what kind of form it is. Dharmasya Dhama. But Dharmasya Griham, I mean, one who was the very house of Dharma. I mean, he was like very container of Dharma. Okay. Pattanam Putatayaha. Putata means Pavitrata type of thing. Okay. So he is the city of Pavitrya. Okay. That kind of sense. Then Shalam Shilasya. So he is the hall of chastity. See, the Kavi is using house, city, sabha, etc., or a place, etc., and placing him in the place of the dhama, of the pattana, of the shala. Of what? Shilasya shala, putatayaha pattanam, like this. Then here shalam because of Dvitiya. Okay. And Shala is a Strilinga pada. So Shalam is a Strilinga Dvitiya. Bhairavacharya, sir. Bhaimacharya, I don't know what I'm saying. Bhairavacharya is a Pullinga Shabda. But it is a Vidheyaka Bhava. So this Shalam in Strilinga is a Vidheyaka Bhava associated with Bhairavacharya. Why they are not Visheshana Visheshyas? Because they do not meet the Visheshana Vishesha criteria. Okay. So it is Shalam in Strilinga and Bhairavacharya. So there is no problem associating a Strilinga word to a Pullinga entity. It's called Vidheyaka Bhava.
Shilasya is calmness, or is it, what is it? Shalam, Shilasya.
Sheila is basically ability to withstand and also chastity. I mean, one who has a good conduct. These kind of meanings come from it.
Putataya, what did you say?
Puta Shabda is used in the sense of Pavitra.
Okay.
I think. Kshetram Kshamayaha. He is the place, field of Kshama. Kshama means ability to forgo, basically ability to forgive. Okay, is Kshama. Okay, tolerate also, but in sense, but is more in the forgiving nature. Akaram Karunayaha, one who is the vessel of, is the pond actually. Pond of kindness. Samajam Saujanyasya, one who is the very collection of citizenry of Saujanya, of the good behavior. Correct. Okay. Then
sir, what is the exact meaning of Putataya, sir? Sorry to interrupt.
Putatayaha. Putata means Pavitriam iti napumsake.
Sir, here is it sacred or holy, sir?
Holy, or you can say, yeah, you can use the word holy also.
Holy. Right.
Pavitra, holy. Yeah. Bhagavantam Sakshadiva. one who was literally like Bhagavanta. Virupaksham, one who was having a kind of beautiful eyes, I think, something like that. Okay. Bhairavacharyam dadarsha. So, Vishishta Rupayukta Aksham. I mean, one who had beautiful eyes, something like that. I'm thinking there to check with it. That's what is the first yogic artha that is coming to me. It's not as if I have 100% known analysis of that. So, this is how we have to proceed. It's like we have to look at the context and take the meaning slowly. And when we really don't get it, we have to go to ashtadhyay.com portal, go to Koshanveshana and type in this Dhama Shabda and figure out a few things from there. There it will be explained maybe a little bit. Okay. So we have to do research. You won't kind of get this whole word. So you have to know at least to break Anutishta, Agni, Karya, and then research like that. Okay. So yeah.
So Karpatikaha is a person.
Karpatika, what is the meaning, Bhagini? What is research?
So Karpatika, no. Karpatikaha
Okay,
is
Pala, pilgrim. Surround, pilgrim is the word.
Sages who live on begging, wearing
Begging.
down clothes.
So maybe
Sadhu,
Karpatika is also
sannyasi.
here in the sense of, because the Brahmachari Vrunda, that is his Shishya Vrunda, lives by Bhiksha, by nature. They are not supposed to, cook, or sometimes they are not supposed to even take money in hand and buy things, etc. So that vritti is there even in bhikshus that surround such people. So maybe it is for that reason. Okay. Yeah. One who maintains himself by carrying water from holy rivers. Okay, there is a lot of contextual meaning in different places. Interesting. But it's not a fruit tree, at least meaning is not shown here.
Vrunda, I thought is a fruit. Vrunda. Some kind of, not exactly fruit, but citrus kind of thing.
Vrunda means some circle.
Group
circle of people, like circle of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Gana collection. Yeah. Okay, like this. So now what I will do, somebody still has a question?
Kshamyatam Mahoday. I think here Bhairavacharyam Sakshat Bhagavantam Sakshat Virupaksham must be referring to Shiva.
Shiva, correct.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought Shiva.
Virupaksh.
Bhairavacharya, like
Bhagavantam Sakshadiva Virupaksham. If you take it collectively, one who was literally like Shiva, like that. Yes.
Like
Virupaksha in this case, maybe for the third eye sense of
different eye, different
Dhamma means self-luminance, sir. So
Dhamma, Dhamma also means place.
Chardham.
Place and then also self-luminant. Jyoti Swarupa.
Okay. Bhairavacharyastu Duradeva Rajanam Drishtva Pratyujjagama. So he came little towards the king because king has come. So he got up and, basically, in a welcoming way, approached the king. Samarpita Shri Phalopayanascha Gambiraya Gira Swasti Shabdam Akarot. Okay. So whenever eminent people meet each other, first they will greet, and then there will be certain holy acts, like for example Arghyam, Padyam, etc., like that. So those will be done. So water will be given to wash the hands, water will be given to wash the feet. And in case, if it is a junior to a senior, washing itself will happen by the junior. But in this case, of course, Bhairavacharya won't wash the feet of the king at all. Absolutely, that is not the meaning. But he offered the water for the king to clean his own feet, like that. Sometimes even the king will literally do the cleaning of the guru's feet, etc., to show his devotion. Okay, all right. So Shri Phala Upayanascha Gambiraya Gira. So Samarpita Shri Phala Upanayascha here is in the sense of our Acharya himself. Bhairavacharya was Shri Phalopayanaha. Samarpita Shri Phalopayanaha. So Samarpita Upayanaha, Samarpita Shrihi, Samarpita Phalaha. Okay, what is the meaning? one who was submitted by the king with money, I mean, Shri in the sense of some gold, and one who was submitted with fruits, and one who was submitted with gifts. So the king has not come empty handed, he has come bearing gifts for the Acharya. Of course, Acharya needs to run this big ashrama. So he is Rajashreya is very important, and the way the Rajas respected the Gurukulas is by actually literally now and then personally visiting, offering their salutations, and also doing some good important talk to take advice. At the same time, they would bring these gifts so that the ashrama is having the financial resource for other activities. Not everything may be possible with Bhiksha. So that's what. So Samarpita Shri Palopayanaha Asmakam Acharyaha Gambiraya Gira, with very deep voice, in the sense with a serious tone, in a serious tone. You see, even in English, when we say serious tone, doesn't mean some high pitch, low pitch, nothing. It means in a significant way. Swasti Shabdam Akarot. He did the Swasti. That means may there be good omen to you, the king, etc. Like these things he did. So see, he did the gifting, and this fellow gave the Ashirvada.
The Shri Phalam is also Blambaram, we say, sir. That is, it's name for fruits, sir. In Tamil,
Sri Phalam means coconut, sir.
But I would like to think, I agree.
Mudapal.
I would agree, maybe coconut, but I would also distinctly say fruits and gold and gifts. Why not? Nothing wrong.
Srifalam is containing all gifts, fruits and
Yeah. Narapatihi api duravanatah pramanam chakara. Duravanatah. I don't know exactly what is the intent there. I mean, from far only he bent his head and did pramana. I don't think that this thing. Here the Dura Shabda is used in the sense of maybe he did Shastanga Namaskara. Like, complete on prostrate on the full bhumi in front of the Acharya. That kind of thing may be Duravanata.
Avanataha, sir. Avanataha.
Avanata means one whose head has been bent. Okay. Nataha itself means that. Nataha means one who has bent himself, and Duravanataha means one who has probably done Sashtanga Pranam. Okay. Duravanataha Pranamam Chakara. Okay, we'll accept. Don't worry too much about subtle meaning. We are not going exam of this section. Okay. Acharyopi Agacha Atra Upavisha iti Shardula Charma Atmiyam Adarshayat. So, okay. So the king did the namaskara, and Acharya again told, come, please sit here. Like this. Now all the other things are over, na? So please do sit here. So Shardula Charma. So Shardula is a paryaya pada for Vyagra. Okay. So Shardula Charma Atmiyam Adarshayat. Okay, see, this karma pada is in the sense of in what sense he showed him. In a endearing way, he showed the Shardula Charma, which is basically the sofa of those days. So on a top of a stone. Okay, so like this. Very interesting. You see, when we read this, it's not like reading some simple sentences. There is a lot of thought process analysis, samasa pada analysis required. So we are lifted to a higher quality language. Okay, so let me finish off this slide at least.
Sir, and also it's nice to imagine like how olden days life was, no? In the hut.
Yeah. I mean, at least the kavitva was of that level. I'm sure the real life, the munis and kings had high language like this to speak to each other. Yeah, correct. Kavis didn't try to imagine all these things. They did observe. And the decorums were even just 150, 60 years ago, the decorum in Mysore Palace and all I have seen in my childhood. It used to be quite interesting.
So sorry to interrupt. Your community work went well, sir?
हाँ भगिनी, उपदर्शित प्रश्रयस्तु राजा. Upadarshita prashraya, one who has shown the prashraya, which is in this case the Shardula Charma seat. Okay, so that kind of Raja. See the Visheshana, Kalpana. Okay, Madura Samaim Pravartayan Vacham Vyajahara. Okay, that means having sat down upon the seat shown to him, the king, okay, Madura Samaim Pravartayan Vacham Vyajahara. I don't know what is Madura Samaim sense. They could have put a footnote for that. Oh, Madhu Rasamayim. Oh, Mayat Pratyaya. Madhura, no. I shouldn't break that. This is where we have to learn Sanskritam properly. Madhu, sweet, Rasamayi, one which is filled with the tasteful meaning. Okay. Tadrisham Vacham. Madhu Rasamayim Vacham Pravartayan. Offering, proffering, that sense may be there. This is a Shatranta for Raja. Okay. So, Vacham Vyajahara. So, he told certain sweet, meaningful word. And what is that? Madhura Samaim Vacham. Madhura Samayi Vacha. What is that? Walk. What is that? Bhagavan. So this is Pratama Sambodhana. Bhagavan. Narhasit mam anya nripalan iva bhavayitum. Please don't just consider me like other kings. Abhumihi ayam upacharanam. Okay, so I am not so big that I am a proper destination for all this respect you are showing. I'm not such a great king. I mean, he's being what you call a little bit underplaying his own greatness. Alam ati yantranaya. Okay, there is no need for a lot of technicalities. Okay, let us see 16. Anurodha. So, basically, you don't need to hold yourself back to a lot of protocol. You can be frank with me, this kind of thing. Durastitopi manorata shishyoyam bhavatam. Even though I am staying far, I am your shishya by mental desire. Manorata shishya. Okay. So like our, there was this Ekalavya was a Manoratha Shishya of Drona, like that. Okay. Mananiyam cha guruvat na ullanganam arhati guroho asanam. Okay. It should be known, it should be understood that the seat of somebody like me should not be equivalent to or higher than that of the guru. Okay, so it doesn't desire to be better than that of the guru. Asatam cha bhavantah eva atra. You only sit here. So I think probably the guru literally showed his own seat, saying you sit here like this, or right next to him. Maybe he kind of showed sit right next to me, something like that. No. No, I would not desire like that. Okay, so Upadarshita Prashraya doesn't mean he already sat down. It only means one who has shown the seat. Okay.
Sorry, sir. It says Atmiyam, 13th word. Swasya, no, his own seat he showed. Shardula Charmam Atmiyam Adarshayat.
Maybe that Atmiyam, I took it in the sense of in a endearing way.
Oh, here it says Swakiyam, 13th.
Maybe it is Swakiyam, yeah. It's not in that kind of Kriya Visheshana way. So his own seat, yeah, correct. Basically, next to him, he wanted to sit on the remaining part of the Shardula Charma, something like that. Anyway, interesting. Okay, so, but the king is saying, look, I don't deserve that. I'm not any such great king. I am a Shishya only, and I don't deserve such a seat. Okay. Asatam cha bhavantah eva atra. May you only be staying on this charma like this. Evam vyahritya. I mean, this way, having talked, Raja parijanochite vasasi nishasada. So he sat on a place that is appropriate for parijana, for the other people other than the guru level people. Okay. Nishasada, sat down, he established himself. Bhairavacharyopi pritya anatikramaniyam nrupavachanam anuvartamanah purvavat tadeva vyagrajinam abhajata. So Bhairavacharya accepted, okay, all right, good, no problem. If you feel that way, I don't have an objection. And he sat down on his Vyagrajina. See this Paryaya Pada teaching. So first it was Vyagra Charma. Next it was Shardula Charma. Now it is Vyagrajina. So they are teaching us Vyagra Ajina. So Vyagrajina, Vyagra Ajina. Okay, so this Ajina Pada, Charma Pada are Paryayas. Shardula and Vyagra are Paryayas. We learn. So Abhajata, since Bhajate is used in so many meanings as we were discussing. Here it is simply he took seat upon that. So yeah. Doesn't mean he did the bhajana to the Vyagrajina. That's why we have to be very careful in Sanskritam. Context is everything. Because these words are coming from same dhatu to take different meanings in context. So we have to, carefully interpret them. They are not literally translatable at a word level. They're translatable at sentence and even context level, paragraphs and story level.
Sir, Vyagra means tiger. So Vyagra Jinam means Jinam.
Ajinam means charma.
Oh, tiger skin. Okay.
Asine cha sarajake parijane shishyajane cha. Okay, one who was sitting in the midst of other shishyas and with the king, etc. Samuchitam arghyadikam chakre. So, okay, now the arghya, padya, all those things, all the water offerings have taken place here. Okay, Samuchitam arghyadikam. Arghya means that which has to be the water that is submitted for cleaning hands and legs. Chakre. Okay, Kramena cha nrupam madhurya nrupa madhurya apahrutantah karanaha. Okay, one whose mind was stolen by the sweetness of the king. See the Bahuvrihi of Bhairavacharya. See, nrupena nrupasya madhuryam nrupamadhuryat apahritah nrupamadhuryapahritah nrupamadhuryapahritah antahkaranah yasya saha nrupamadhuryapahritah. Skipping the pronunciation now. Okay, so this is a stack of building that. So some tatpurushas and then some in the end Bahuvrihi Katana. Okay, Uvacha. See, this is where the power of Samskrita. Okay, so entire mental status of the Bhairavacharya. Okay, due to the sweet act of the king to stay and not overdo the acceptance of the offering has pleased him, saying, okay, good. I mean, he truly respects me, though he's a great king. He probably knows. Okay, Tata is a respectful way to address another person. Necessarily Tata of Kannada, which means grandfather, or Tata of other Indian languages, it means father. It means son sometimes also is called Tata. So we have to be careful about this. But in this case, respectfully, he is addressing the king as Tata. Ati namrata eva te kathayati gunanam gauravam. Your extreme modesty only is telling the weight of your good qualities. Sakhala sampat vatram asi. You are the vessel for all kinds of shri, all kinds of benefits, gains, wealth. Janmanah prabriti adatta drishtihi asmi swapatayeshu. Janmanah prabriti. Okay, right from birth. Adatta drishtihi asmi. I am one who has not given his thought and eyes to swapatayeshu. Okay. Swapataya 21. Sampattishu. Okay. Swapataya. So this one is, gaining Aishwarya for oneself. So what he is saying is, I from birth have not been the one to put eyes on monetary gains. Okay. Need not have been told, but he is telling about himself a little bit. Okay. Dhanaihi avikritam kvachit sharirakam asti. Okay. There is a certain, I don't know whether he means body, it's a sharirakam. What he means by sharirakam is a little deep. But that there is something that which cannot be bought by money. Okay, fine. Vaiksharakshitaha santi pranaha. Oh, what is that in the sharira is sharirakam. So that is prana. Okay. So, Vaiksharakshitaha santi pranaha. Our lives, pranas, lives, like pancha pranas, okay, are protected by bhiksha. Bhiksha is tadita of bhiksha. So, bhiksha rakshitaha santi pranaha. Our lives are protected by simple things obtained through asking, begging. Kashtena uparjitani katichit vidyate vidyaksharani. So, with difficulty, there are some things that we have learned, okay, which are words of knowledge, vidyaksharani, okay, vidyante. So, I mean, yeah, we have put our mind on studying and gained some knowledge. Bhagavat Shiva Bhattaraka Sevaya, by doing seva of Shiva Bhattaraka, of Bhagavan Shiva Bhattaraka, is just maybe another local alias to the god. Okay. Samoparjita kiyatyapi sannihita, that which has been gained, whatever that has come to us, sannihita. Okay. Punya kanika. Okay. So whatever we have gained is actually like money that is not gold, but money that is punya. Something like that. Okay. Svikriyatam yadatra upayogarham iti. So please receive whatever it is useful. Okay. So basically, I mean, you have given me Shri, that thing, this thing. It's not there that I have some Shri and Phala and things like that to give you. So, but we have obtained some Punya Kanika through our good Vidya, Arjana, etc. We live, our lives are taken care of by Bhikshu Karya. So there is no need for money. We are not money minded. So what you will receive from me, whatever is useful to you, please do receive it. I mean, basically saying, whatever way I can help you, I'll help you, ask away. Something like that. Okay. In a very colorful way. Raja tu tam pratyabravit. So Raja returned like this. Bhagavan, Yushmat darshanat uparjitam eva aparimitam kushala jatam. So, just by looking at you, just by your darshana only, whatever was obtained by me is implicit there. Maya uparjitam tadeva aparimitam kushala jatam. That itself is like unlimited bounty. Okay, that's kind of thing. He is being even more modest. Vividhabhischa kathabhihi chiram sthitva griham agat. So, vividhabhihi kathabhihi chiram sthitva. What is this whole thing saying? So there was many stories exchanged between the Acharya and the king. Maybe king told about things that happened with him, and then Acharya told certain moral stories to him contextually, like that. Katha here is in the sense of the discussions that take place at certain levels. Okay. Chiram means kinchit kalam sthitva griham agat. So he stayed with Bhairavacharya for a while and went home. They have kind of compacted a lot of days. They have expanded the Kavi here, whoever has written this Sangraha, has expanded the initial conversation enormously and literally compacted the remaining days into one sentence. Very interesting way of doing Sangraha. Anyasmin divase, oh, okay. Chiram sthitva griham agat ityanena prayah that day maybe. As Anyasmin divase, another day, Bhairavacharyopi Rajanam drashtum yaya. Okay, this is indeed another different day after several other months maybe. Anyasmin divase Bhairavacharyopi Rajanam drashtum yaya. So one day even Bhairavacharya goes on a yatra to see the king. Tasmai cha Raja Santahpuram Saparijanam Sakosham Atmanam Niveditavan. So he literally, with his entire family and friends and everything of the kingdom, I mean his capital building, with kosha. That means like with all his he's, oh, I am your servant, in that way. Sacha vihasya. So the sacha here refers to obvious again acharya. Acharya cha vihasya, having smiled. Okay, tata kva vibhavaha kvacha vayam vanavarditaha. Hey king, what are all these earthly gains of yours, like all this Shri that you have, and where are we who are growing in the forest? Why are you offering all these things like that? Okay, iti uktva, having told so, sthitva cha kanchit kalam jagama. So he returned favor by doing a reverse visit and then went back. So like this way, this Gadya. So they have summarized this way, Samskrita Bharati, Gadyam sadapi samasa bhuvishtam sandhi sahitam cha bhavati. So nowhere there will be any quarters for not doing sandhis. Okay, whatever is possible will be done. Samasas will be used. अर्थबोधः सुलभतया भवतु इति उद्देशेन अत्र हर्षचरितसङ्ग्रहस्थः भागः स्वीकृतः, न तु मूलहर्षचरितस्थः. So if we take मूलहर्षचरिता, it will take hours and hours for one paragraph. So we have taken a few paragraphs from another person's Sangraha Katana of मूलहर्षचरिता. That's what Samskrita Bharati is telling us. Patana Saukaryaya Sandhi Vichedah Sarvatra Krita Asti. So we are getting bonus that Samskrita Bharati has slightly done certain Sandhi Vichedanas so that it doesn't become so difficult. Some they haven't done, some they have done. Easy ones they have left for us, some they haven't done. Okay.
One doubt. There's one word, Adatta Drishtihi. Is it Adatta? Is
Adatta Drishti. The Datta Drishtihi means one who has given, one who has put his eyes upon something.
I thought Adatta is the past tense, na lam lakar of.
Drishtihi is a strilinga shabda, I think. Datta Drishtihi yena saha Datta Drishtihi. One who has clapped his eyes upon something.
Okay.
Adatta Drishtihi, one who has not clapped his eye upon something.
Okay.
Nai samasa. Adatra Drishtihi is a bahuvrihi. Sorry, Datta Drishtihi is a bahuvrihi. Adatra Drishtihi is a nai on top of that.
Okay.
Nai, I don't think we can call it nai bahuvrihi because Adatra Drishtihi itself is a complete bahuvrihi. Just adding nai to that doesn't make it nai bahuvrihi. So it's a bahuvrihi and nai after that. Nai tat purusha after that.
I thought Adatta is the da dhatu, the past tense of Adatta and then Drishti. That's why I asked you.
One who has not. Adatra Drishtihi asmi swapatayeshu. I am a fellow who has not put his eyesight upon personal gains.
Okay.
Right? Very obvious.
Yeah.
Right from my childhood.
Okay.
Birth, right from my birth. Okay, guys. So, unfortunately, this still doesn't finish this lesson. Maybe what I will do is some of these longer sections we will have to take it, skip them so that we don't spend 1.5 hours, 2 hours on those. Having practiced how to do it from here, maybe some self-study portions we will have to give to gain time. We will see. Okay, so that we focus on more important things, or I will skim over them a little faster. That's all. Okay, so we will catch up with this last remaining segments in the next week, next Saturday, and keep moving. Okay. Thank you everyone for staying 2 full hours today. I apologize.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
Namaste. Namaste.